Hello, people. Welcome to Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is The Trip coming to you on our new day, a new day. And before we get started, we'll bring everybody in. So everybody's here. Welcome to so we're doing our show. It might conflict with some other shows that people have been watching, but it's all right. They'll catch up when they get in here. But anyways, welcome to the show. Tony, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
All right. And Spencer, how you doing?
Excellent.
Cool.
I would be better. The weather was like it was yesterday. It's 75 and
75.
nice and
yeah. Okay, I got to multiply my temperature at least 2.5 times to get there. So it's not that warm. It's got Steven in the house. He says he can't stay long. His work is calling. Well, you got to work, man. Yes, work comes first, family comes first, then work, and then play. Even though I'd like it to be family, play, and then work. But we don't get those choices. We gotta work to live. Yep. Hope you're feeling. Oh yeah, that's right. I told the guys you had a little bit of a setback. How are you feeling, Tony? Steven says, hope you're feeling better.
Leg is better. Hyperextended the knee and I made the leg part go back, but it's all right for now.
That's good. It's good that it's all right. Not all right. Cool. All right. Oh, this is weird. Oh, I think I know what's going on here. Oh, this is so weird. Oh, I know what's going on here. All right. There we go.
Your computer is like it's Tuesday. I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Yep. All right. Let's move on. All right. So last time we were here, I don't think we had played yet, right? We had a midweek game, Tuesday game. Actually, we did talk about it because I think we had did we have our show on Tuesday last week? Yeah, we did. Because I was no. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Because I was away on Monday. So we talked about the semifinal 1-0 win for Chelsea, which just sealed it for us late in the game with a nice Havertz sealer. But then
98th minute goal.
Yeah. Anything else? You got any thoughts on that game? Anything else? How do you feel about the game now? We're into the finals now.
I still don't care about the Carabao Cup.
You don't care about the Carabao Cup. Well, you don't care about your team then, because your team plays in it, and they try to win it. I think they try to win it every year. They may not set themselves up to, but I think winning begets winning. Spencer,
I just don't like Rice and seeing those other guys play more minutes than they already are playing.
Yeah, the best teams, if we're going to strive to be like the best teams, then we got to play like the best teams. And guess what? All the best teams do, all of them. All the top teams in the world, what do? They play every game. They play every game. They play every tournament, every cup, every trophy. Spencer, what say you?
I mean, I care about the cup. We talked about it last week. I mean, he could get hurt anywhere. He could get hurt going to the bathroom. So might as well play the games and win what you can. Yeah. So I got no issue with it.
Yeah, if they get hurt for overuse, then that's on the coach and the medical staff.
It's on them too to say, "Hey, I'm burnt out." So, but mostly the coach and the staff have to set the boundaries for them. They really do.
True. Yeah, I was traveling on Monday, Stephen. Yeah, so I guess on the road just mean I was away. But yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand not wanting to win a trophy when if you're gonna play in it. Then I use it and don't even bring up. You can't bring up the academy players because we don't play academy players. So
We used to,
we no
and squad players.
we don't play them now, and that's what matters. We
You
don't play
should
them
though.
now. And you know what? I don't think, and I think if you want to take it seriously, you don't play your academy kids. And if you notice, a lot of our academy kids don't even last long enough to play in these things. They're gone. They're on loans or we sell them. So you're going to have even younger kids playing in it, right?
Because they don't play. We'll see what happens
Yeah,
there.
a cup match isn't going to keep them. Playing in a cup match isn't going to. Yeah.
We'll see what happens with Winery and Skelly next year or summer.
We'll see. Well, we shall see. And it sounds like where he was going for a purpose, and Skelly is staying for a purpose. So we'll see if they were right about it. If Skelly is staying because he's going to move to the midfield, then that's good for his career. He'll play behind some really good players, and when he gets, we know he can play in the midfield, so that's not an issue. And where he comes back with some minutes on it under his belt, and maybe work on the things. I think a lot of times I've listened to some people talk about when those kids go out on loan. One of the things that allows them to do is work on the responsibilities a little bit themselves, work on themselves. Be a little independent. There's things he's supposed to come back with, so he knows what he went there for. He talked to Arteta before he left. He talked to the coach when he got there, even though it sounds like the Zerbi right now isn't there anymore. So who knows? If they're not going to play him, then hopefully they bring him back. If they're not going to play him. We got Mr. Tom in the house. He said, I'll take the point from the so-called world champions. Yes. And I think as the way that Mr. Tom has it, they're like eight teams removed from world champions now because of how he does his whatever. So yeah, got Mr. Ryan the Arsenal fan in the house. Welcome to the channel. Yes. Oh, sorry. Welcome to the show. So you're a regular, but yes, anybody new? Thanks for joining. Arsenal Misfit. We are past playing academy kids now, Tony. We have the depth now. Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, all these players need to play, and they're going to get minutes from the cup, so that's always good.
But what's the point of having an academy if you don't usually guys?
Well, the academy
go on.
The academy is created. Saka, Inweri, Skelly.
Yeah, but they're not
right.
Two of those aren't playing for us right now.
Not every academy player starts for every team.
What did Skelly do wrong last year to deserve not to play this year?
Did you see the difference between Skelly and Calafiori and Hincapie? Can you see the difference between the way they play the position? I think Calafiori has shown that if he's healthy, that's how Arteta wants us to play it.
Which one's the better defender?
Calafiori is suspect, but I think the overall game is what Arteta's looking for. Zinchenko played there, and he's worse than everybody. There's not a left back I can think of that's worse than him.
You have Granit Xhaka out a lot.
Well, okay, he got one game, and that didn't last. So I'm going to go with the guys that have played multiple games when I say that. But yeah, no, I think Calafiori is the type of player he wants. Hincapie's the kind of player he wants. Skelly can play anywhere. He needs to work on his defense was suspect this year, and if you saw it, you go, oof. That's why he wasn't playing. He was getting turned very easy. So yeah, yeah. That's after playing all of last season really well. So yeah. Yeah, it sounds like we can't cancel the loan, which is kind of weird that we didn't have a clause in there. But I guess you can't.
Can Charlie ever do?
Yeah. His whatever. What? His whatever? Yeah, you're whatever. Yeah, that thing you do. The Academy has created Saka. A bit weird to call his mom's productive organs the Academy. Oh. Saka the footballer was created at Arsenal. Saka the person was created by somebody else. Yes, you're right. Welcome to the channel, Ryan, the Arsenal fan. Yeah, I thought he said, oh, you said you're new to the channel. I read that wrong. I thought he said, hello, everyone new to the channel. See, you missed that a little comma.
Figure it was our other friends. Like he just ran it branded.
So that was where I went wrong. Welcome to the channel, Ryan. Thanks for joining us. All right. Yeah. We had that little back and forth with Tony, who seems to think Academy players need to play. And he tell me what Academy players are playing in the cup matches for any team these days.
They should be there, Gary.
No. Tell me who's doing that now.
I don't watch that much other football.
Oh, you don't watch that much. So, like, when your team plays another cup team, are they playing with a lot of Academy kids?
Sometimes.
No, they're not. The last time we saw something like that was Liverpool, and they beat us.
Bunch of 15-year-olds.
Yeah,
17-year-olds.
that was on Arteta. The way I think that was more the way he set up the team than it was that they were better than us. But anyways, we move on. We're in the finals against Manchester United, and that could be telling. I think in month of March, I think it is, we play them a couple of times. We'll play them in a final. We'll play them in a away match, and we possibly could play them in 2 Champions League games if the table works out that way.
I don't know how that's going to work out because I got to look further into that. But like, I don't know how that's actually going to work out because if they're the 8th seed, if you're at the quarterfinals, they would have to be what, the lowest remaining seed?
Are they the 8th seed? They're the 9th seed, I thought. That's why they're playing. They're playing the extra game, I thought.
I feel like they qualified.
Oh, because when I looked at it, I could have swore they let's see here, football competitions. Come on.
No, they got a pass.
All right, so so who was 9th then? Oh, Real Madrid was 9th.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, no, but I think the way it works out is they don't reshuffle it after the first round is set. You're thinking if they went and they can't do that. So the way it works out is we play the worst team. We play the 16th seed. I think the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th seed or something like that, because we would play the team that's most likely going to win in that first round of the playoffs. The worst team there.
So yeah,
that's how it's set up.
Well, there's 2 different brackets. There's a blue path and a red path, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And
it all depends on how.
Them,
yeah, it all depends on how. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. There is an opportunity. There is a chance that you could actually play them. That's the way that works out. That's all.
Yeah.
So that's the thing there. So depending on, I think it's Juventus, and where's this thing? Dortmund and Atalanta and Juventus and I think one of the other teams we could play. So we'll see. We shall see. So it could work out playing them. But anyways, let's get into the weekend's game. Sunderland. We welcome Sunderland after they had a surprise game against us, where they took a point. I guess we took a point from them because they actually had the lead, and we grabbed it back, and then they held on and got another goal late in the game. So I don't know if they've been looking all right. They're still sitting where are they sitting in the table right now? They are sitting. Come on. Oh, my table just didn't refresh. What's going on? Refresh. Boom. There we go. Sunderland is sitting. Oh, they're sitting 11th. They were second or third when we played them first time on a good roll, but the league comes back. The league catches up to you. So, as I recall, the game.
How many points are they away from 4th, Gary?
How many points are they away from fourth? They are 9 points away from fourth. So they got a long way to go. They're 11th. They got what a lot of teams to. It's not usually always about the points as much as it's how many teams you got to beat. And so, yeah. Yeah. But Arsenal, home to Sunderland, wins 3-0. I think I actually did like, to some degree, I did like the lineup. It gave some people rest. Gyökeres got a rest, as I would have liked to see him play. But he didn't get the start because Havertz got the start. But it was good to see Havertz get a start. And we did score. I think it was Trossard. Was it Trossard that scored in the game? Sorry, Zubimendi had scored in that game. Nice move there from him. A nice cross from Madueke, who looked good cutting inside, and a header from Zubimendi in for the goal in the first half. Tony, talk to me about the lineup in that first half. Oh.
Some players got real rest they needed. Kind of, like I said, I wish more got rest, but we did good. So.
Yep. So Spencer, the lineup. I think we just made just changes really to our attack. Otherwise, it was the usual back six, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I mean, given who was out and who was available, I probably would have started Gyökeres, but I was fine with Jesus starting. That's the only one I looked at. Maybe Martinelli over Trossard, but
yeah, as I like to say, we need to rotate, so we're gonna have to rotate. So, and you're not gonna get. It's not like we're gonna get. Well, Trossard seems to have come back a little bit to the pack in terms of our best wing. He's not firing like he was earlier in the season.
I also think Havertz coming into the fold has really kind of made a little bit of a difference as far as like what you're seeing in the midfield and where he, plays up top too as well, the amount of floating. So I also think he's also tinkering with things. And and it's not massive tinkering. It's like, hey, I'm gonna start Jesus in this game. Or, like, hey, I'm gonna try Martinelli over here on this one. And I mean, we've seen it also later in games where he subs Martinelli on to play on the right wing, for Madueke, and has Trossard up top. So I was okay with it. I mean, there's nothing that's that. I mean, as good as this team is right now, you don't really have anybody starting that's kind of makes you go, I don't like that. If that makes sense. And it's a quality squad up and down, and yeah. Obviously, it got the job done, so the rotation worked, right?
Yeah. Well, the rotation worked the way I think it worked the way we expected. If the starters don't work, then you always have somebody who's quality coming on, and that's exactly what we did. Let me go through the chat right here. Tony doesn't watch football; he just reads numbers on an app. Is that it? Is that right, Tony? You don't know what we're talking about? You just look at the stat sheets afterwards?
No,
yeah.
I watch Arsenal. I don't watch as much football as I used to.
Yeah. Damn it, Gary! I tried so hard to forget that Liverpool game. I didn't. Oh, I brought up City, but I wasn't actually thinking about the that game, Stephen. Yeah, it didn't go the way it looked really good, promising, but guess what? I think Liverpool is worse than we think. Any just they didn't have to be that much better. A little bit better Liverpool doesn't lose. Let's just say that. I think that game turned for me when it didn't turn. I think it was telling when Salah took that free kick and booted it into the stands, and then the next free kick they got, Schlabbersley puts it in, into the top right corner, and you're like, maybe you should have let Schlabbersley take the free kick, Salah. Maybe you should let the guy who's been hitting it do it.
Yeah, after the one he hit earlier in the season, he'd be the only guy taking him, in my opinion.
Yep. Sound like he got a little bored sitting there watching all that happen. He said, "I wanted some of this." Mr. Tom, I thought all 5 English sides got through the UCL autos. Actually, there's 6 English sides. 5 did make it into got the buys, and one Newcastle has to play an extra set of games. So there you go. So 5 did get in, but not all of the English sides got through. I think we made up for that shite game early in the season. We were bloody terrible. Yes, we did. We've been able to respond to a lot of outside of the Liverpool match. It's the only one we haven't been able to respond to, and I think Liverpool has shown some inconsistencies. Sometimes they look good, sometimes they look bad.
It's crazy how bad United and Chelsea were last season, and still or Tottenham and got in there. The Spurs and Devils.
Tell you how bad. Tells you how bad. You know that if you look at it, the 5 English teams that made it through were basically I think 5 of the top defensive teams in there. But if you look at it, Newcastle and Inter actually also are just as good defensively, but they didn't make it because they can't score. So, yeah, I think defense wins in the Champions League based on what you're seeing there. I mean, Arsenal's there with 4 goals against, and then you've got Inter and Newcastle who didn't make it with 7. The problem is they only scored in the teens, along with that team, but they scored 17. So that team just got lucky who they played because they scored the same amount of goals as Newcastle, but they are 3rd. It's a big difference who you play.
Just wide open play too. That's the other thing. So, and I think that plays into teams that are probably a little bit better defensively. To me, like the low block teams. Well, you'll see it sometimes, I think, in Europe, but especially in this group phase, I feel like this group phase changed things because I feel like when you were back in the group stages, right, you knew probably 9 points got you out of a group, maybe 10, depending if the group was really good. So teams would also have to play different. Now you're all really competing against each other, so there is no we'll just low block this one and play for a draw anymore. It's like you kind of have to go for it, So I think that's where that league phase has kind of really improved the quality of the Champions League group phases, group games. There's more games. It goes a little bit later.
It's finally a league. I'm curious what it would be like if they got extra 2 games they wanted, because they actually wanted 10 games. That's why they formed the European Super League, so they could get these rule changes in. But that's the only one that didn't make it in was 10 group games.
I can't imagine where they would play all these games without teams just all the players just dying. I mean, they're dying as it is. And we already added 2 more. We can add another 2 on top of that. Yuck. Yeah. I can't see that happening, but yeah.
Me, international football doesn't help. All the breaks we got for that.
What breaks?
All the international breaks suck because your players out there playing. A lot of times we get 1 or 2 that come back injured every time.
They can do what some of the other leagues do. They just let those players travel and everybody else keeps playing. And you just have to deal with it by bringing some academy kids in if you really are struggling.
I know that's weird. Like now, like with hockey, it's like hockey keeps going, but your best players aren't there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a couple of games, so hopefully it doesn't hurt you that much. What is it? BX says we need whoever is in the 10 to do what Havertz does if he's not in the game. The problem is the things that Havertz does, nobody else does that, but is better than Havertz. If you know what I mean. Like the things that he doesn't do well is why you got other players. The things that he does well, the players that do that, are they actually better than him? I don't know.
It's the vision too, and I think what I'm seeing is I think it's helping unlock Yorkeres too, and not just making him better, but showing other players like, hey, this is what you can use this guy for, right? Like, we don't have to do this constant play style. And I wonder what will happen when Saka returns too.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the reintegration of him back on the team too. Will he make the right decision to pass the ball to Yorkeres, or will he just keep the ball himself and try to sling it to the top left corner? So that's going to be interesting to see how that reintegration works.
If he scores, I don't care. If he's not going to
score, that's the facts. Yeah.
If he doesn't want to shoot, then he better put the ball where his players need it.
That's correct. Yeah, and that's my whole point. He hasn't been scoring, right? He's been getting some assists, but he's not scoring like he should be.
Yeah.
And again, like this, look, Yorkeres is now banging into form. Like when Saka comes back, he might bang into form too, and it's just at the right time. So it's a slight concern, but I don't think it's something I'm the one worried about it more than anybody else should be in my mind. Like I'm creating this worry, right?
Yeah, but like I think he's at 4 goals. I mean, that's not near enough. He should be around 8 at this point of the season.
Yeah.
It should be near double digits in both stats because that's what he is. That's what type of player he is. He should. I mean, he was trending to get close to that 2020 mark,
mm-hmm.
and the injuries have set him back over the last year and a half. So, because first he got like double digits in assists, then he got double digits in goals, then he got double kind of thing, and now we're like, just struggling to keep him on the field. So yeah, I don't know about who's the plays the 10 like Havertz. I think we play different to different people, and we don't play to the strengths of some of the players we have. So it kind of like it's a weird mix of things that we do. We have Gyökeres in there.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily play the ball for him. We put somebody else in there. We play the ball to them, and you're like, what is going on? Why can't we just play the strength? You're supposed to. That's why you play more of your teammates, so you figure out what's good, what they like.
Yeah, if we didn't do it alone, like Spencer didn't want us to, we could see what Larry could do. But
it seems like he has an even bigger problem now because it sounds like they were saying his defense was terrible in that last game where they lost 5-0, but he was playing PSG with a team that's not as strong as an Arsenal. Yeah. Like Marseille's defense is nowhere near our defense. Yeah. And we were able to hold them to 4 goals in 2 games, right? Some teams gave up that in 1 game. So yeah,
it's 3 goals, but either way, like it's again that matters too, right? And I think that's the other concern about letting in where he go is the quality of team he plays with. My point being is, do you develop bad habits from bad coaching? And that can happen. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but there's always that risk of that. And that's why also for me, I would have probably said in Weary, stay with Arsenal, finish the season out, and then maybe find a Premier League loan for him, right? Somewhere where there's a man.
There was Crystal Palace. Right.
Well, that's probably a good one with Glass.
There was Bournemouth. There were a couple of Bournemouth. I think is one team people were talking about. They could have dealt with a direct attacker in their squad. They're losing. Bournemouth loses Semenyo. Could have done with him.
And who knows? They play him at right wing, and next thing you got another right winger, right? That's kind of the thing that comes of this. But with that being said, the Havertz thing is a good problem to have. We need Saka back. We need Odegaard back. We need all these guys healthy because it's going to be a massive – we're looking at a massive 3 months here coming up, and
Lots of
Saturday,
football.
lots of games to be played, lots of rotation needed. I think the good thing about Saturday, and I think I said it to you, Gary, is that Arsenal took what was given to them by Sunderland, right?
We've
And what
been
I mean
doing
by
that all season. That's the thing
taking
I keep
shots
telling.
outside of the box.
Yeah, I keep telling people that all the time. I think we just try to take what everybody gives us. We want the easiest thing, which is the tap in, but we'll give
Yeah.
and the problem is sometimes we don't take what they give us. We're happy to win by a free kick, own goal, and all that, but we don't. We need to actually take advantage when they do make a mistake. So
I
Bryce
mean, you
just
seen it.
got- Go ahead.
You seen a perfect example last year when we were playing PSG with all these half chances where they literally had a half a yard of space of being disaster either way, but they were decisive on what they wanted to do. They trusted what they could do, and they kicked it in the back of the net. And went on to win the Champions League.
yeah, we didn't take advantage of our opportunities. We had opportunities to score in both games. We could definitely went away in the first leg with at least a draw.
Mhm.
We just
Uh,
the goal we gave up was silly. The one that strike
Yeah.
from distance, that was silly. The way we played defense. I know Partey wasn't there, but I don't think that's we still should be able to be able to manage that one and see that one out. But we had an opportunity to go away with a draw, and we didn't. Let me go through this chat, try to catch up. I know I'm missing a lot. Havertz coming back has made all the difference. It definitely has. Definitely has opened us up. Gyökeres is what? He's got 8 GA in the last 6, I think it is. So we'll take that any day. One of the best. He's the top scorer in the league this calendar year. Nobody's talking about that because it doesn't fit the what's going on. Havertz coming back. What is it? Have to know. Just wanted to say that Havertz, Gyökeres, and Martinelli were great. Want to see more of that combo.
I'd rather see Trossard in there. But
Yeah, well, I think there every so often Martinelli shows you why.
Yeah.
Right. I think he always shows you why. Trossard is consistent, but Martinelli always once in a while shows you why. He's raw. He looks raw out there sometimes. That's the thing. He has. He's not. He's not. He hasn't. He hasn't. He hasn't fine tuned his skill set
Yeah.
to where it's consistent, and you can see it every day.
Yeah, after he's dribbled the ball out of the through line about 500 times.
Yeah, but that's not of
I
late.
stopped carrying.
That's
I
not of
stopped
late.
carrying.
You're thinking about something that happened a while. I don't think I've been seeing that of late.
He still
Right?
does it,
Did you
Gary.
see him do that when he? So he did that when he passed it to Gyökeres for the third goal or second goal of the game. Did you see that then? So I know what you're saying, but he has looked much better of late for sure. Yeah, and he shows you every so often why he could be a really good footballer, a good attacker. So
And that's the thing about him too. If his defensive work rate is so good, he comes back, he helps support the fullbacks. Our biggest beef with Martinelli has never, and again, if you go back and look at it, like Martinelli, I'm pretty sure was benched. I feel like after that one Carabao Cup game where City opened us up, this is probably during COVID, or maybe a little bit afterwards, and we just got beat to the seams. And he just kind of sat for a little bit, and his game changed ever since then. Our biggest beef with Martinelli has always been kind of the finishing product. It's like everything outside the box is excellent, really good, great passing, great runs. But his final product hasn't been there, and now this is the thing about this too, because we get on him for the shots he misses, but now that you got Gyökeres and he's kind of clicking with him a little bit, maybe his assists go up. You know what I mean? This is something that with Gyökeres finding form and Havertz coming back at a good time, and this is the other thing too, and you defeated Leeds. You had a good game from Odegaard in that game. Havertz was good. Gyökeres with a goal, and then you get the Chelsea game, and you had another clean sheet there. No Odegaard, no Saka. Cup final in theory, and then this following weekend, Sunderland, a team that kind of bullied you a little bit on their place. You answered the call, they didn't sit back. I think Sunderland was a little bit more front-footed than I thought they would be. And Arsenal took care of business. New Yorkers got 2 goals coming off the bench. Martinelli looked good. Like things are starting to click a little bit. I think the United game was just this kind of wake-up call that you need to be on this. This is going to be a long not to get into this rant now, and it's not even a rant. But I'm actually when you guys sent, the thing to me, Gary, the hey, we might see City 4 times in March and April. I'm okay with that. Let's go. I mean, if you want to win this title, you need to beat them into submission. And I think the easiest way to do that is if you play them 4 times and you can get the best of them. If you can beat them in the League Cup, beat them in the Champions League, and beat them on April 18th, okay. This team needs to take this opportunity, man. We're 6 points clear. I know the Man City result wasn't the greatest result, we were kind of hoping for, but Arsenal still control their destiny, man. And this team's starting to click a little bit.
Yeah,
Playing good defense. I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the next 3 or 4 months. It's going to be nervy, but I'm excited for it, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad the defense has solidified a lot more than it had been.
Yeah,
The previous 3 or 4 weeks.
You know what? We're going to go through dips. You're not going to be consistent throughout the entire season. I mean, I think it's like saying we're going to play a full 90 minutes the same way, and that's never true. You're going to keep a team from not getting an opportunity to even take a shot. It's really hard to do that for 90 minutes. It's going to be so. I think I think for me, our defense has been consistent, even though we've had a dip in form. And we can't. It's hard to be at that level. The way we were playing early in the season, it's hard to do that for entire season without any issues. And as soon as we had issues, then we saw a little dip. Let me try to go through this chat. Let me try and go through this attack. The attack was stop and go before Havertz brought a more direct approach. Yeah, I just think I think we had players that could have done that. That's the problem I have, is that we have players that should be able to do that in Erdogan and Saka. So, yep, he agrees with you. Be a misfit. I was talking about the cup game too. Yeah, I was talking about the cup game too, where they played academy players, but we should have still been able to beat them with.
Yep.
I don't think we were playing our A team. I don't think it was our A team, because I know we had made rotational changes and we had changed the way we played, and we actually pretty much played into a style that made it easier for their C team to.
Was that the FA Cup or was that the League Cup?
I think it's the FA Cup. I use the FA
Cup. Because that one also was missed opportunities from Arsenal in the beginning too. Nelson missed an opportunity, and I believe Havertz missed one early too in that game.
Yeah. I just don't think we set ourselves up to dominate that game. So, yeah. Tiger Goon is in the house. He says, "Morning, lads from Australia. Welcome to the channel." Havertz finally laid down a blueprint they have to follow. Yeah, we got a man in there, so we'll see how that plays out. We just got to manage his minutes so he can play as many minutes as possible. Got Alonso in the house. Is this the podcast where I find instructions for Skynet? I don't even know what this. Stop. Why you bring up stuff I don't like? Why can't Erdogan and SAB as effective as it has been in a short amount of time? Why does it take him to? Why did it take him to? Let me finish reading. Let me finish reading what he said there, dude.
I'm answering it.
No, how can you answer something I haven't even asked yet?
We might have people that can't see listening to this, Tony, so they have to be able to hear what Gary's saying.
Why can't Erdogan and SAB as effective as has been in a very short amount of time? Why did it take him, I guess, too long to unlock and link up with Gyökeres? Now, you forgot what you had to say 30 seconds ago?
No.
Go on.
One, Odegaard, defense first, hasn't been playing with 10. Eze hasn't been playing, and he's been playing all over the pitch when he does play. So now that Arteta's finally went with a 10, he did it. Few games before Havertz came
I'm telling you, it's game state. It's more than anything. We've seen us open up and play the way you want us to play it when we're chasing a game. When we have a lead, Arteta risk averse, I believe, and that's why we don't play the same way. When we're chasing a game, you see us play open. When we've seen Ez's best games is when we playing that team isn't really a good and indicative of what he can do. But the City game and the Newcastle game, I get into that. I bring that up all the time. That we're chasing a game there. and that fits in perfectly to Eze. When it's tied, when we have a lead, we don't play the same way. You know what I mean? And it doesn't fit into the skill sets of an Eze, who's going to take the risk and make like if you look at his passing chart, Arteta's probably happy when he passes backwards, but he passes forward into the box. It's like a 20% completion rate in some of the games because he's making these tough high risk passes. When
you're trying to do progression instead of retreating backwards and just keeping the ball, passing it along. You're actually trying to score. But when you're chasing a game, the thing that changes that's brought up here very often is usually we don't play with tempo, and when we're behind, we play with tempo, and that's what you could see every game if Arteta would change his coaching style and let the attackers attack and let the defenders defend. Got some of the best defenders in the world on the team. Their backups are pretty good too.
Yeah, let me keep going through this. I'm behind like 10 minutes. Let me try and catch up. Your Chris looks like a kid in the candy shop since Havertz has come back. He's confident playing with Jordan. I don't know. Arteta, I think he could have got the same thing with Eze and Erdegaard and Saka out there. I just don't think he allowed them to do it. I think it's people say no. Some of it could be the players not doing what Arteta is asking. We know that already because we know that Erdegaard playing further back is not something Arteta has asked for, but he wants to do that. So it seems weird that
I have a hard time believing that.
Arteta said it. When he says stuff like that, I truly believe that stuff. When he says, like, how do you feel about like somebody being injured? I don't trust him on that. But when he talks about the way that he wants to play football, I believe him on that.
Then why isn't he more forward? Why isn't he getting benched?
Because he's allowed to do whatever he wants. You say, Calafiori, he's allowed to do whatever he wants. Calafiori is allowed to bomb up the pitch, right?
So I'm gonna go ahead and answer on this one because I've been sitting back thinking about this. And so what will happen is we had the United game. You had a moments of switching off, moments of mental miscues out the wazoo, and ever since then we've seen a drastic change in Arsenal's approach and how they're approaching games. So you look back at the United game, they get that first goal, and then all of a sudden, we literally talked about this, guys. It's like they were sleepwalking, and I don't care who's responsible for it. I could care less. But what I'm seeing that being fixed, right? We're seeing in the last three games.
It seems to be fixed in the game because we
right,
have.
But that happened.
That's the problem. We're always fixing it after the fact.
Right.
Fix it. We need to be fixing. We need to be fixing the engine in the air. I'm sorry. We have enough players to do that. We have supposedly the leadership to do that. All right.
Okay, but they didn't. They didn't, and we'll agree that you're right. But what we've seen in the last three games has been a proper response. Is my point being. And now we've seen even Arteta come out and make the comments about playing a little bit more open, right? So what's happening here is Havertz has come back into the team, and Havertz is making these direct runs and making these great passes, to Gyökeres. I don't care if it's against whoever in the Champions League. But my point being is Odegaard and Eze are watching that, and that's their competition right now for that position. So they either need to step up.
We hope, right? We hope it's
well, listen, what do we talk about all the time? There's comfortability. If there's not competition, comfortability sets in, right? Yeah. Saka needs competition. Madueke, I heard Lee Judges say this I think it was on the Arsenal podcast, and it was the funniest thing. He said that Madueke makes you stand up and then sit down immediately because he does something crazy running with the ball and then sends it into row Z. He can beat his man. Saka could beat his man. But if Madueke starts finding that end product, all of a sudden now Saka's got competition. Saka's got to up his game. So what Havertz has done is he's going to make Odegaard up his game, right? Odegaard came in at Leeds United game and started making passes, being more direct and more what we knew and loved when he came on his loan spell. So the competition is going to be the key for this going forward. And Havertz may be the thing that clicked it. And I remember everybody hated him when he showed up and everything, but look, he's come right. So, but carry on, Gary. I'm sorry.
Tony,
that's my answer.
I keep trying to go.
I say Bucharest kept doing the same thing. He keeps making runs, league to league in it. And all you have to do is pass it to him, and he's going to do what he's supposed to. But instead of worrying about Saka's goals, everybody's worried about Bucharest. He's doing fine. He didn't have a preseason with us. He got injured.
You can't say that anymore. That can't be said anymore.
But now he's clicking and everything.
Yeah.
Getting the ball.
All right, let me go through this
Just
chat.
getting
I'm
the
not
ball,
going to let
Gary.
you guys interrupt me anymore. I'm going to try to get through all
Okay.
of them. Bournemouth had a very talented young Brazilian attacker that hit the scene with a bang. Yeah, he did. Yeah. That run Martinelli did was crazy fun. Good. Yeah, it was. It was good. He said Martinelli peaked already. He's cooking. I think Martinelli's showing you every so often what he's got. Consistency is the key thing. He needs to work on that. Yeah, Igor Silver. Yeah, we didn't get nothing from us. And Wary should have stayed in England to play in the Premier League. Yeah, well, that was his decision was to go. I think he wanted to get minutes, and the only reason why a player would do that is the team has told him probably how things are going to play out, and he wanted minutes, probably more minutes than they're going to give him. And I even said it, if they're not going to play him, then he needs to go somewhere else and get minutes. And I believe that should be the case. And if you're going to improve your players, what we got here. Spencer said he'll be right back. All right, we'll see you in a bit. I'm gonna go through this chat while these guys are checking away. Martinelli's pass to Saka and Saka's pass to Gyökeres was amazing. You're talking about a while ago because we haven't seen Saka in a bit. That's you're laughing. Pundits are saying that the race and on Mark Poshnick says that when it's 5 points for that team in the relegation zone, but he's not talking about that team's relegation battle. So I was listening to somebody, they were saying if they lose the next 3 matches, which they lost 1 already, or maybe it's either 3 or 5, that they probably will steamroll down the table because they won't be able to handle it. We'll see. Erdegaard plays very different from Norway with Haaland. He looks like we need from him now. The thing is, he's playing with a Gyökeres now who's as close as you're going to get to a Gyökeres. So that doesn't make any sense. If you're looking at the makeup of the players, you'll see the similar traits between them. So he should have seen that, and hopefully the coaching staff sees that. So for him to play differently makes no sense. You know what I mean? Like he's seen the best player, and then he's seen a player a level or 2 below. He should be able to work it out. And he's not. I don't think he's even looking for him. So it doesn't matter what's going on. If you're not even looking, it doesn't matter. Saka most certainly wasn't given a striker the service. It's clear as day. Saka needs to know when to be selfish and when to save. So I think he's not. There's selfish, and then there's like desperation from like struggling all season. And I think the desperation is why he's probably sitting out. He was never 100%, just trying to do more than he can. That's kind of. I don't think it was selfish. I think it was desperation and like, I'm out here. I need to do something, right? As opposed to I need to do what's best for the team. So maybe that is selfish, but I kind of felt like he was desperate to actually make score a goal and stuff like that because he's struggling. So, and I think he can score, so he's not necessarily selfish. I mean, if Saka's healthy and back to where he was, before he had all these last couple of injuries, we wouldn't be saying he's selfish. We would be saying take some more shots. So, I think it's desperation, and that happens when you get injured. Erdegaard needs to look at Gyökeres like he's Haaland running. Yeah, no, for sure. Habits are just dictating the gameplay. That's number 10 for sure. Yeah, no, we need to. Yeah, we need. I like the way what Havertz is brought, and I think the one thing, as you said, like the one thing, and that's why I don't think Erdegaard was ever healthy when he came back, is we never got the pressing out of him. We never got him bombing up the pitch to put pressure on the back line like he did before, and that I think that helps us when he's sitting back. That doesn't help us at all. So, I think our best our defense is from the front. Everybody thinks it's our back line. It's from the front for me. The reality is that the argument being presented is that Erdegaard cannot do it, but he is capable. I don't know, but I think Erdegaard can do all the things that we need, for sure. What is that, Tony? You talking about this comment here?
No, it was something I was said. I can't remember exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, is it about this one? Talking about Erdogan and Jokeres, like why they don't work.
Yeah, it was Odegaard can do it. He just doesn't give a license. I don't think he gets a license to, but I just don't see him ignoring Arteta the way Arteta's always micromanaged so much stuff.
You talking about Erdogan?
Yeah.
Arteta said it. It's not even that they're ignoring Arteta; is that he allows certain players to do whatever. He's allowing Erdogan to fall back deeper than he wants. He said it. Sometimes I don't believe what he says, but I believe when he said that because that would be weird to say. Arteta's usually, he's usually careful with his words. Yes, he said that because people asked him about Erdogan playing, further back. I mean, he's playing sometimes between the center backs. He's supposed to be our eight, our most creative player on the pitch. He's playing behind.
He's supposed to be our 10 like he was a couple of games ago.
Well, I think he's supposed to be at least our 8. That's what I think he's supposed to be. But he's playing as a center back. It's kind of weird.
He's playing as a 6 back there, Gary.
Yeah. B.S. Gunner says, I'm going to sound like a crackhead, but Havertz is having this Messiah effect. He's our saving grace. I think he's just healthy, and I think that's the difference. I think Erdogan and Saka aren't healthy, and I think we rushed one. I think we rushed them back, and then I think we asked them to make sure they can get through games. And I don't think
say that again, Gary?
I don't think they're healthy.
No, what thing you said before?
That they're trying to make it through games as opposed to playing the right way.
No, you said they were rushed back. I mean,
Havertz
has been in camp for like
that's the
2
same
months.
as like they're not healthy. They're not healthy.
Havertz has been in camp for like 2 months, and he's just now getting to play.
Yeah,
he's been back for a while.
The medical staff and Arteta are just not looking at the writing on the wall when they let these players rest.
He was supposed to be back in late November, early December.
Yeah. They wait till a player gets a significant injury, and then they go, all right, we're gonna work them back in. And then it doesn't make any sense. Like we have depth. We don't need to rush people back. Like Saka and Erdogan did not need to come in and be starters for us. As it could have been our starter for us, right? Madueke was supposed to be in to be our starter, and you could have bring Martinelli and Trossard, between the I guess more Martinelli could switch sides if he needed to. You know what I mean? So I think
you got 5 subs. You got the under 23s, and you got guys that can play multiple positions.
Yeah. There's no reason to rush players back right now, and what we did, I think we've done that, and now we just hurt our captain and vice captain. It's silly. It's silly. But you know what? The fact that we have depth is why it doesn't affect us. We've been asking for it. We got it now, and this is what it looks like. But there's no reason to rush them back. Yorkres wasn't hurt when he came to us. He wasn't hurt, but he did have a knock, and he was out for a bit, for a game or so. But he's been pretty healthy for us. So yeah, I don't know.
He made like 3 goals in 2 games, and he got hurt and missed 3 or 4 games.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, but I think that's because I remember commenting about it. I just think he was never intended to have to start those games to start the season.
Yeah, and he never had a preseason. So
yeah, but that's over now. We can't keep talking about a preseason. We're here.
I'm just tired of talking about the guy.
You keep bringing up his preseason. You keep bringing up let's talk about now. Now he looks fine, right? He looks like he's in form, right? He's actually looks better holding up the ball a little bit now. He's making runs. He's getting in positions to score.
He's been making
all of that.
The entire time.
No, but he is still getting into positions.
He's getting service more than from just Trossard. He's getting it from average now.
True. The reality is that
3-pronged attack.
Yeah. Oh no, we talked about that. See you guys back to work. All right, Alonso, enjoy. I think we just missed him a couple of minutes ago, but have a good day, good time at work. Thanks for joining us in between work. Let's see. BX says later, Alonso. Havertz, BX says Havertz is shining in the 10. Has nothing to do with them. I think Havertz was playing the same way he played when he came back at the end of the season for that one game or so. He looked like he was lively. And I think he's got, I don't believe he's playing the same role he was playing when he was struggling for us. So that's the nice thing. That's the thing that Arteta does sometimes, right? We saw that with Xhaka. They finally find a position for him, and then they thrive. So
he was trying to play him like as a left mid instead of playing him as an attacking midfielder or a striker. I mean, either
push him further away from the goal we're defending, so he can work on the things that he's good at.
I mean, the guy's naturally a striker. You got to play him as a false 9 or a 9, and there you go. You don't put him in a mid. Hey, he struggled until we had an injury. It wasn't until Jesus got hurt.
Yeah, no, you don't bring that up. We're not going back in time. Stop it. You're going to go back. I don't want to go back. We're here now. This is a totally different season. What happened in the past stays in the past, at least for now. We got one game at a time. BX says Havertz was never allowed to play in the 10 with a competent striker in front of him. Yeah, we didn't have any. We got one now, and it seems to be working. He had plenty of time in the preseason. Yeah, I didn't have any time in the preseason. He came late, so that we keep. Yeah, what are you bringing up that for? If you're talking about Gyökeres, he didn't have a preseason with us. He came, I think, a week before the window closed, if I recall, which is after the season had started. So I think he had played at least one game, and then I think he sat out. Actually, he wasn't practicing because he wanted to come. So Kai has always been an attacking midfielder his whole career. Yeah, well, that's not how we were using him. That's not how we're using him. And I think, so I go through all the chat. So we're done with all the chat. But we were talking about, the last game, Sunderland, score in the first half, and then we make some subs. Gyökeres comes on, and the game opens up, and Gyökeres makes some really good, scores a couple of nice goals when he comes on. I forget how did the first goal. Do you remember how the first goal was scored?
I can't remember anymore.
Yeah, it was a while ago. So let's see. That's the third goal there. The second goal. Second goal.
Where is that? Playing on Sundays.
Yeah. Where is the goal? It should pop up on here. Oh, here we go. Yeah. The ball is lost on the near side. Havertz cuts back and finds Gyökeres inside the area, allowing the substitute to fire the bottom left corner despite losing his balance at a crucial moment. That's right. He's like falling over, and he boots it in for the goal. And then the last goal is the long ball from, I think it's, if I recall, that one is from Rice. Actually puts the ball across, if I remember right. I think Rice puts it all the way across to Martinelli. Or is that a different game? Anyways, yeah, I think Martinelli gets the ball, crosses it.
Raya? I thought Raya.
Raya gets the ball out.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah. Sutherland lose the ball high up the pitch with bodies committed forward. Martinelli and Gyökeres break away. The former uses his pace superb to surge ahead before slipping the ball across to the Swede. I don't know how the ball gets up there. Yeah. But Marley has the ball, and he passes back to Gyökeres. Needs to say Gyökeres gets another brace. I think he's at least got 2 braces right now, probably 3 maybe. But another 2 GA game for him. He's had a couple of those. So he's our top GA guy on our team. 15, I think. Trossard's got 13. So yay for him, right? And if he hits double digits in the league, he's got 8. He'll be close to where we want him to be going forward. So, yeah.
Okay, because most of us, all 3 of us pretty much said 12 goals and we'd be okay.
Yeah, 12 sounds really low now to think about it. Because he could get to 12 right now.
I think 20 is good enough for me, and I'm talking 20 all over together.
Yeah, that sounds low now.
I think 20 is realistic.
Yeah, I think that's low now. with the amount of
Not in
games
the
we have
league,
left.
or are we talking like overall?
No, overall that's low now. He's got 13 goals right now. I think he can get more than 7 goals in the rest of the season. We have 13 Premier League matches to go. We have another, we have a final. We have
Yep.
more FA Cup games to go, and we're going to have at least 2 games in the Champions League. Hopefully 5, or is it? Yeah, 5. You know what I mean? So we've got a lot of games. Got over 20
doable.
games where you could get 7 goals in. I think he'll get that easily. So he should get well over 20 goals if it plays out. If he doesn't get 20, but we win multiple trophies, then that's because everybody else is scoring.
Yeah. And no one's going to care if he. No one's going to care about the preseason argument. No one's going to care about what it looked like week 1. If they win trophies, no one's going to care. They shouldn't care. But
well, you know how that's going to work out, right? I mean,
you know exactly.
Yeah, you won the Premier League. Well, now you got to do it again. Well, you can't enjoy this one. No, it's time to work about it next year.
Okay, so it was actually Nogard that cleared the ball to Martinelli.
Oh yeah, I think Norgard's actually come on and done some really good things, which
I like.
I'm not surprised by. I just don't understand why what he wasn't doing that Arteta just didn't trust him. You know what I mean?
Tell you what, I would really love to see. I'd love to see more Nogard, not starting, but like in like this game, 2-0. Pull Rice off. You know what I mean? Like give Rice a break, and because that's the one that scares me the most. Who's Declan Rice getting hurt?
Gotta manage their minutes. Gotta manage.
Nogard has looked good every single time he's played for Arsenal. He looked really good in that Champions League game. He looked good in the League Cup. I just haven't, like Jorginho. Jorginho was good at times. Jorginho also had limits, right? I don't see the same limits from Nogard. I know people could say, well, Jorginho is a Champions League winner and Euro winner, and I get all that stuff. But by the time we got him, he was one of those players that
I think Arteta trusted him, and that's why we got to see a lot of the bad things that he does. When he doesn't trust you, he's a little bit more.
Well, Jorginho was value for what we paid for him.
No, but I mean Arteta trusted him.
Well, yeah, I mean
the same way he trusted Marino, right? He trusts him, even though he's not any better in certain situations. Defensively, he's not any better. Some of the better players that are defensive, he doesn't trust as well. We don't get to see them right away, So that's kind of what I feel. It's like when Arteta likes you, you know it. When he's suspect, he's got some questions. Like I think Berta probably picked up Norgard, and Arteta is like, I'm gonna, hold back. Same thing with Eze, hold back, right? Madueke, he seemed like he was ready to play him whenever. I think Arteta's got to get that out of his head. He is not the best eye for talent. You know what I mean? I think when Berta gives you a player, it's because there's a talent there. You should tap it, and figure out how to get the best out of it. Like nobody could tell me Eze coming in isn't a good talent, and you shouldn't be able to get more out of him than we have. And Arteta's got to figure out how to do that.
I think this is the running. I'll let you go through the chat. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Hold that thought. Rosie with her "Let's Go Brentford." Welcome to the show, Rosie. But you're bad, Rosie. We are well, but your last comment, bad. Yeah, Norgard is massively underrated by Arteta. I think a lot of our fans, a lot of us want to see him. Miss Belina is in the house. She says, "Evening, Gary, Spencer, and Tony. Thanks for joining us, Miss Belina." She says hi to a couple people. Havertz had Norgard doing backheel pre-assist key passes. Levels have been raised. Yeah. It's weird why things look so different. I don't, I like to think we have players that can do similar things. So I don't know. Like I said, maybe they weren't ever healthy, and that's why we didn't get to see them working out. And hopefully when they come back, they'll be healthy and we'll see a better version of them. It'd be nice to say they come back in that March time frame. Maybe they don't have to start in finals. Hopefully they're not bringing them in for the final. Like we've seen what happens when players come back from injuries and they just play in the final, and you're like, we got here without you. You don't need to play the final, So yeah. So we got Brentford coming up. Brentford, I always find it interesting that we're playing Brentford, and what is it? How have they looked of late? Brentford has played. They played. They beat Newcastle. And they beat Villa, both away. Now we go to their place. So at home they lost to Forest, lost away to Chelsea, and then they beat Sunderland at home. We beat Sunderland with a 3-0. So yeah. Us on the other hand have won our last two, lost to Manchester United, and then we drew to both Forest and Liverpool, which terrible 3-game stretch there. Not the 3-game stretch I thought we were gonna struggle in, but that's what happens. Got two out of 9 points in a 3-game stretch with Forest, Liverpool, who we just saw melt down against City at home. Yeah, I think sometimes we give teams the Shields the benefit of the doubt when we need to just go and smash them in the mouth. Right, I think Liverpool's been struggling. Even like the first game of the season, we kind of gave them a little bit of a. We held them up on a pedestal. We didn't. We don't need to do that. We're a better team than them, at least this season. Everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. We have never beaten City with Saka on the field. Interesting. When Saka's our best player, then that's not on him, then, right? I mean,
well, let's talk about how many times we've beaten City in the last 10 years or whatever time that he's been here.
We've only beaten them twice, I think, in the last 3 or 4 seasons.
You beat them 5-1 last year.
Yeah. Then we beat them 1-0.
Yep, at home.
Another game.
You beat them in the Community Shield. I think Saka played in that one. I guess you went to penalties or whatever. And people say it's a friendly, whatever, but still counts as a game. Yeah. I think that's really it as far as the other games have been draws.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a boogie club, right? In my opinion. Like, it's something that... Because that's the other thing about... I was going to bring up. The table doesn't lie, right? So you're 6 points clear. You got Brentford Thursday. They've got Fulham tomorrow. But I guess my thought process here that I'm thinking about this... I forgot my original thought. But... God, I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
But I don't know, big week. It doesn't matter. It wasn't a good point anyway, probably. If it was so good, I remember that, I think, in my opinion.
No, it might come to you. No, I'm trying to take everything one game at a time, and we can't really look at what everybody else is doing because it doesn't really matter. We really control our own fate to some degree right now. We win our games, we'll be fine, and there's not a game on our slate of Premier League matches here on out that we shouldn't be able to compete in, much less win most if not all of them. So we should be able to set up to win any game that we play.
Well, the defense is there, right? And I think that's very critical. All the games are going to be tough from here on out. And I don't want to be that guy because I don't want to because you brought it up and you said it accurately. Every game's going to be tough from now on. I have to think about one game at a time.
Everybody's fighting for something. If you look at it, no matter what team we play.
The only team that's really not fighting, in my opinion, is probably Wolves at this point.
And they've had opportunities to get out, but I mean, are they going to be able to get out of the bottom 3 spots? Probably not. Burnley eventually will fall into that as well. So then it'll just be a fight for who's the last one in, and that's what I mean.
Get relegated. That's very likely.
Yeah, they are sitting. They would have been sitting. They're sitting 16th right now.
Yeah, 29 points, leads on 30 of 15.
West Ham was almost within 3 points of them today when they gave up a goal late. So, yeah. And I think let's see who they play next. What's interesting is Newcastle plays at City next week or the next match week. We play. Oh, that's right. We have North London Derby against that team. So we go to their place, and we could definitely put a nail in Frank's coffin in the sense of his career. So, but that's not until the 22nd. So, because we got our games here. Actually, oh, that's right. We also play. So we've got got a busy week. We play Brentford, then we play Wigan, and then we play Wolves. So we have that midweek game. So we can, even if we were to have a little blip, we get to play ahead and put pressure on City to do something with the Wolves game that we play away. So if we have a good, what is it in the next 8 games? Next 8 games in the next 8 days. If we were to win all three of them,
Yeah.
it'd be a really good. They would put a lot of pressure because then we will be no matter what, we'll be 9 points ahead, at the least 9 points ahead of City when they come into play in the next week. The match week 26, I think it is.
Yeah,
27 actually. Yeah.
And then you've got so what we've got, like you said, Wigan on Saturday, and then is it Wolves midweek, and then Spurs the weekend?
Yep.
And Spurs will be without Romero, so there's that, and they just don't.
It doesn't matter who they have.
I agree. It doesn't matter. It's still a rivalry game. It still makes me nervous. But everything isn't for Arsenal to take care of.
I get the nervous, but I don't like. But I'm not really. I'm not really nervous because I'm like,
you know what?
Unless my defense struggles in back-to-back games, which I've yet to see. They may have played a bad half, but they've never really played a full 90 terribly.
Cautious, I think, is the term I'm looking for. I'm cautious in my mind.
I go by what I see, and defensively, I've seen us play at our worst, and teams still struggle to score against us. Offensively, we're picking that up. If we continue to do that, right, and we're playing, like Brentford might be organized, but can they hold up against us? I'm not sure, right?
Well, think about this. And I think I said it earlier, talking about we had that massive blip against United, 3 goals given up, sloppy all over, and what we've seen is the response since then. So you made a comment earlier about in game, and I'm going by what I'm seeing. It's the same thing you said earlier. I'm seeing a response that I want to see. I'm seeing us play clean, mistake-free football. But I mean, there was a couple squirrely moments from Rye on the weekend, but my point being is we're seeing that quality rise again, and you're 6 points clear. You just take care of your own business, and it's for me, like when I heard, I'm gonna go to that city comments from Bernardo Silva saying, well, if it had gone 9, we would have thought it was over. And no, it's not over till it's over. I think Arsenal fans, because I know my irritation on Sunday from Liverpool, I think Tom made the meme about you couldn't hold on for 16 minutes. I think there was frustration on that, but nothing changed from the weekend, right? We came in 6 points and left.
Well, people look at it one way that City whatever is on the way back, and I'm looking at it like Liverpool is not that good, and they actually had a lead on you.
So I figured out what I was going to say.
So go ahead.
Today's results absolutely show the quality of this league right now, or maybe the parity in the league, right? So let's think about this.
It's the consistency in this league, right?
Yeah. Chelsea was up 2-0. Blew a lead to Leeds 2-2. Yeah. United, hottest team in the league right now, arguably 4 wins, right? They go to a relegation team who's in the bottom 3 and drop points. Tottenham, of course, lost to Spurs. I'm trying to think what other result was kind of shocking, but my point being is like there's not enough consistency out of teams in this league. The only teams that have really been consistent is really Arsenal at this point.
Yep.
And we're 6 points clear, but I trust that the quality of this team and bringing in like players like Gorkarez, and I think I've got some Champions League highlights going on in the background right now. The talent and the quality is there. We've got the back figured out. The defensively good to go. It's gonna be, can we score goals consistently? Can we get into games, go up 1-0 and say, you know what, we're gonna go up 2-0. This is going to be this critical stretch point here, and we're February 10th, so we're looking at about 3 months and a couple weeks from the end of the season. And I think you can develop this mindset where you're defeating teams in the tunnel. I think I said this last week to you, Gary. Like, teams are telling us what they think about us based on the way they're setting up for us.
Yep.
You've got Chelsea in a cup final. it was semifinal, but basically it was a do-or-die game, setting up a 5 in the back against you because they're fearful of what you do. I mean, you look earlier in the season, Pep came to Arsenal and sat behind the ball. We have never seen a Man City team do that at the Emirates. At least not when I've been supporting this team. So my point being is this team is good. And they did ignore the noise. The fans need to be, they've got to be picking them up at all moments, keeping the momentum going, holding them accountable, pushing them forward. So much more to play for. But what I saw today from today's results, and more come tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked tomorrow if Fulham and City draw, because I watched that Sunday game against City, and again, I learned a lot about Liverpool that I already knew. Not that good of a team, but we saw City celebrating a 2-1 victory. You know, and that's just something when I say celebrating, over celebrating, Haaland taking his shirt off, getting the yellow card, and something you just don't see from a City team. Like, so they're really in this against us.
Hey, you know what? You got to take. I mean, that the league is tough.
Yeah,
they're struggling. They should, they're looking at, with 6 minutes left in that match, they're losing.
Yeah,
they get bailed out, get a penalty for a stupid reason.
Yeah.
And then Liverpool self-implodes, right? I mean, all of that happens. And then, like, people are going to say, oh, that was the pressure from City. I don't believe so. I just don't think Liverpool's that good.
Liverpool lost 8 games so far this season, right? And the only reason that the first goal happens is because Saliba is playing right back. And he's playing the man on side. That's it. A guy in the midfield who I think that's where he's, like, the minute they put him in the right back, they basically hurt themselves. I know Andy Robertson was on the bench and he plays left back, but you couldn't throw him in full back.
Yeah, but he's been providing for them, and yes, you take the good with the bad. You don't get probably the free kicks and stuff from him. Then so you just got to take the good with the bad. It's like their most consistent player in terms of all around. And if you look at who else is on that team has been playing anywhere near his level, none of them. He's playing out of position, so yeah.
Well, here's the pressure for Thursday too. You've got Chelsea in a Champions League spot currently. They blow a 2-0 lead, so now they've gained a point. United did what they did. They were in 5th. Liverpool now missing Saliba on 3-game ban. I mean, we'll see what they do. They play Sunderland. But my point being is that race for top 4 is spicy too. So you're also looking at what Brentford's in 7th, right?
Yeah, but you got to remember they are 5 points back.
Brentford is.
Yeah, they're 5 points back. So it's
but
not
look
even
at the way these results are going.
So like you're talking about breaking in just to get into the top 5. The teams that need to get in there are 5 points back, and Liverpool. Right, they play Sunderland on the road.
Yep.
And Brentford. Sorry, they played Sunderland at home against Liverpool, who's going to want to redeem themselves.
Yeah.
And Brentford themselves also, they're playing, the most informed team across the entire season, not of late.
Yeah.
But across the season. Oops, sorry, Tony went out. Let me bring him back in. So yeah, no, whatever your consistent plays, you should be able to, we can lean on our defense, and that's what we've been doing. Let me go through this chat real quick. The Brentford game match will be testy, yeah. Yeah, they're playing. They're up and down. I mean, you look at the last couple of games, yes, but then they've had a couple of blips in there. So we have to impose our superiority on them. Yeah, I mean, just if we can press up front, that means if Havertz and Gyökeres are playing, we should be able to put pressure on them. And I keep going back to it. We score first. We in the first half we usually win. We had a couple games where we didn't score in the first half, and we've won of late. But I mean, I like our chances when we have a lead. It puts some more pressure on the other team. This is where you flex your strength and quality. Yep, we got that. We have to start matches on the front foot and get early goals. I'm all for that. I think we should. If you give up a goal, cool. But I think more than likely we will score. We're playing against the relegation team. Well, not this week. This week, Brentford needs this win to get 2 points within fifth place. So, playing teams are trying to go to Europe. Got Anthony Herbert in the house. Says hello, Gary. Bye, Gary. Yes. This is the 500-meter hurdle run to the title. Yes, yeah. You clip a hurdle, you can still get back up and win it, right? Remember that.
Yep.
But it's going to be tough. I think Arteta has us set up to play the marathon, and everybody talking about their players coming back. If I said, guess what, Erdogan and Saka could be coming back, that's a good sign, right? They could add on to what we're already doing, right? And if we were able to extend our lead while they were out, no, you can't say that. That'd be just bringing them back would be a plus. We can't trip up 100%. Got to stay focused on our run. Yeah, just one game at a time. One game at a time. Just play that 90 to win it. Liverpool have a good team, but I
On
don't
to
see them.
Cleveland.
But I don't see them playing for the manager. You see, they have a ton of quality. Yeah, I don't know about that. Playing for their manager, I don't know. They had. I think that when you're I guess when you're struggling, you press, and that's what happened. I mean, Allison coming out and taking out a player is silly. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. I doubt. They probably never get. They probably get the 7 minutes of extra time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also on top of that, you're looking at probably a 1-1 draw, which would have still been a favorable result for Arsenal because that pushes you.
Mhm.
That pushes you. Now I remember my other point I was going to bring up, Gary. Goal difference right now, right? That's worth a point.
Yeah, we are now
kills
5 goals.
clean
We are
sheets.
5 goals. We are 5 goals ahead of them.
Yeah.
So
that in itself's a point. And on top of that, if City had a draw with Liverpool, that would have been 7 points. But again, I think there was definitely some, I was peeved about it on Sunday. But again, we got to handle our own business. We can't walk backwards into the title. This team,
you know what?
they're gonna drop points
Everybody
with
you
each other.
listened to would have told you that Arsenal needs to get the win because they don't know what City's going to do on the weekend.
That's very true.
And then when they get the win, and then City does get their win, then the sky is falling down. When before it was you handle your business, which we did, and it was up to City to do theirs, and so now.
But that's the way it was the first third of the season. City was playing on Saturdays and we were playing on Sundays. It just recently changed. Actually, about halfway through the season. There's no changes.
Yeah. No, but you just got to win your games. If you're looking at what other people are doing, you trip up and you'll lose. Salah needs to go. Says Big Gunner. I don't know. I mean, I think he's getting older, but I think they made some bad decisions. I mean, they should have gotten Gahey when they were supposed to. They should have gotten Gahey the second time when they had an opportunity to get him. They didn't do that either. So. What does this say here? Tiger Aguna says he's got Gabriel as his triple captaining in fantasy football this game week. We're playing Brentford, and they're organized, but we have our break key. We have Gabriel. He hasn't scored in a while. Why not? This is actual title race. Yeah, it's a good back and forth. We see how long it lasts. Right. All we've done over the last month is extend our lead. So, a month from now, hopefully we're saying, we're 10 points. So we shall see. We have the depth and quality to finally contend and go toe to toe. Yeah, we do. Liverpool play that team against City. What? Oh, play like that team against City. Yeah, they did. That last 20, like that last 18 minutes, because I think they scored late.
That's one thing I was asked last week. Where would we be? Because it's something we always kept asking for was a sporting director, and we finally get one, a very capable one. And now, because of that, we're probably they'll win at least one of the big cups, either the Champions League or Premier League.
I mean,
we have depth. Somebody did their job. Did homework at the end of the window and got more players in.
Well, so I Berta gets credit for where this team's at, but we also can't ignore the other transfer windows where we made good moves, like the Rice move. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's been, to me, it's this culmination of building, and Edu took them only so far. And
I don't think there was I don't think we brought in like what 6, 7 players, 8 players.
Yeah, but you've already got some.
But they all hit. They all are.
Yeah,
quality, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And when you brought in Rice, there's probably a player that we brought in along with Rice that were like.
That's when we were bringing in 3 or 4 players.
I mean, Moreno was not a Berta player, right?
No, it was before.
And that's it. Jesus and Zinchenko were good for a certain amount of time.
No, they were basically better than what we had in terms of what Arteta wanted, right? They weren't. I don't think they were ever the answer because they weren't.
So, in my opinion, Edu took you where he could take you, and Berta's taking you further past that.
Just to see, it was just a stepping stone. What we
right. No, it's all part of the story that leads up to where we are now. So that, to me, like getting a competent sporting director helps Arteta out to be able to because I think about this too. Like it's kind of like it's like a coach that takes you only so far, and then someone pushes you past it. That's what I see with this. And we're talking about things because we don't know how the season ends. We've talked all this stuff and everything, but I mean, the confidence level that Arsenal fans should feel about this team. We talked about it earlier. You mentioned it earlier in the show, Gary. You said the lineup, and you're like, okay. Because they could have really given you like a couple other combinations of that lineup, and you probably have been like, okay. And like in a couple of years back, you probably would have been like, oh man, why is he starting? Like, this isn't going to be good. Like you went to that.
Like that left back.
Well, the things like that, Partey at right back, all these different things that happened based on the fact that we didn't have a competent enough squad, or we would let people go out on loan. You're like, well, we're going to need that. Even if they're not quality, they were still somebody that could fill a void for 20 minutes in the game. So it's all part of the story. That's why there's a confidence level about this. There is concern about this, how this season ends, based on the fact solely that we've been burned the last 3 years. But you should feel confident because of what is like. I mean, look, and Weary had to go out on loan. That kid is super talented. Are you kidding me? We were so stacked with everything that Weary had to go out on loan. I mean, if we're going to start playing with 2 holding midfielders in the 10, you're looking at Havertz, Eze, and Odegaard as your 10s. That's pretty good. Jesus and Gyökeres as your strikers, Madueke and Saka as your right wings, your left wings, Martinelli, Trossard. If you go left back, I can even say Miles Lewis-Skelly could play holding midfielder. I believe it 100%. My left back's got Hincapié, I've got Calafiore, I've got Gabriel, Saliba, and Mascara as my center backs, and I've got my other right backs over there, Ben White, and Jurgen Timber's a really good player too. And look at even the quality of the goalkeeper, the backup in Kepa. Like there should be confidence. Period.
And look at Spencer. He forgot Norgard's with a team like Arteta has.
Well, no, I said his name. I said him as and Havertz as your 10s.
Yeah, no, we are
No,
20
Norgard.
we are
Oh, right. Oh, no guard. You're right. Sorry.
we are
Norgard.
20 plus
Yeah.
deep because if you think about it, like we brought on Martinelli, Gyökeres, Hincapie, Eza, and Norgard, right?
Mm-hmm.
On and the players that didn't play, Kepa, White, Mosquera, and Skelly, right? And that's not including Erdegaard, Moreno, Saka, and
Yep.
even Dowman, right? Like where are the holes in those players? Like nothing. They all have a significant role to play if they're healthy for us, right? So we are stacked. We got what 23 players.
Yeah.
I think we had on our roster, and 22 of them or 22 of them all have a role to play, and we I don't think we're upset when any of them play for us now. They've done a really good job, like you said, over the years, and we brought in 8 players, all 8 of them quality, right? Not all of that was happened beforehand. I know Zubamendi was definitely before that, but Eze, I think, was a Berta guy, So I kind of felt like, yeah, that's why I think look at any of those other teams. They don't have that, right? And even when they say when our players come back, right? When our players come back, we've got similar situations. If you told me, if you had told me, a year and a half ago, or that we would be at Saka and Erdegaard wouldn't be available, we're gonna struggle, right? And now we're like,
Absolutely.
right now we're like, whatever we move on, Next,
Has anybody been tempted to go back and watch the Amazon documentary over again?
No. We got our own drama right now, dude. I don't need to see. I have more than enough drama in this season. I don't need to go back and watch more. Like watch the dark days, essentially, compared to where we are.
Well,
now.
no. I think it's therapeutic to an extent. Like my boy Matt.
It's not. It's not therapeutic to me. I don't need to see.
I
You don't need to see. You want to go see that mess that mess compared to where we are now. Why would I want to go see that?
Just to remind you.
I don't need it. No, we lived it, right? We watched the show.
What does that song say? What does that song say? The scars remind us that the past is real.
I don't want to. No.
Hear myself open just to feel.
Don't want to do it.
I can't remember who sings that song, but
yeah. BX says I remember. He says BX says I remember when moments counted more than how many goals players played. How many
hand in hand, though, I think. Right.
I think moments include the goals they score, so I don't know what that means. Right. I mean, there's few moments that don't involve a goal, right? I mean, either it's you kick the ball off the goal line or you score the goal, right? Oh. Right. Martinelli, Gabriel's had these balls cleared off the ball. I think even Zubamendi's had a ball cleared off the line, So I don't know. I think moments usually are goals most of the time, anyways. Mm-hmm. There are a few clearances that you talk about. Rice save against in the Brighton game, I think it was, right? I mean, the difference, that goes in, and we drop points. Everybody said that could be the turning point. Could the same logic? Go ahead.
Still crazy. We got a center back that has 20 goals in 5 years.
Yeah, we take whatever the other team gives us. If they want to give us goals and not do their job on a set piece, then that's on them. That's on them. I don't remember what this is about. Could the same logic be applied to another manager?
I don't know. I need to expand.
I forgot what that logic was. We've This is the last message, so it's something recent we said, but BX, I forget what that logic was that you're talking about.
I don't know.
Remind us. We're still here. Yeah, we are. We've hit the 90-minute mark. Yeah, it is overtime. This is extra. We got extra. Is this a City extra time, or is this an Arsenal?
This is Liverpool extra time.
No, you mean City extra time?
Liverpool gets gifted some of that shit too, though.
They didn't want 7 minutes in that game.
Yeah, there was one weekend when I was watching games.
Hey, we got gifted over the weekend. Come on.
What?
What did we get gifted in the Sunderland match?
No, not Sunderland, but one before we got the 98th minute goal from.
From which game was that? We haven't
game
we
we got
haven't
with
we haven't needed to score late, have we? Oh wait, you talking about Chelsea?
Chelsea.
The Chelsea goal?
That was 96th minute. I mean, that kind of makes sense, though, that it was 6 minutes of extra time based on what I've seen in the game.
Which the one we won 1-0?
Yeah.
We didn't want to play an extra 60 minutes. We wanted to get out of there.
Yeah. 0-0 was a perfect result for that Chelsea game.
Yeah.
That would have been on to the next one. But you get that epic Havertz moment, Tony. And the great Peter Drury commentary to go with it.
Yeah.
What did he
All right.
say? I can't remember what he said.
All right. We're gonna get out of here. BX, I'm looking for your comment if you're still around. You might be passed out. But we're gonna say our byes. We'll be back next Tuesday. I'm actually away over the weekend. We might have a road
Might be a
trip over the
cloud
weekend.
of smoke over
Well,
BX.
We will let you know. Tony,
Yes.
leave some words for the people.
Well, like I said last week, enjoy these good moments. You know how long will last. We waited a long time for this to come back around. And only 2 years since we won a league. 20 years since we were in a Champions League final. So it's nice for it to come back. That's why I never make too much fun of other teams, because they're finishing ahead of us, winning leagues stuff at times. But anyway, you'll see we're wrestling on Thursday.
Check out the channel for some wrestling. Yes. All right, Spencer. Talk to me. Talk to the people.
I was just reading BX's comment. Sorry. No. So yep. Thursday, Arsenal Brentford, 3 p.m., 8 p.m. UK. I don't know what time Australia, but I know Tiger and Gooter knows, so I don't have to tell him. Thank you everybody that came by. Good to see you're doing all right, Tony. Gary, thank you as well. I enjoyed doing it on Tuesday. It was fun. I mean, if you ever go, whatever day is fine for me. But this is pretty nice too. I'm not gonna lie. Last night, dude, I was so stressful. I'll tell you about it offline. But now, everybody take care, enjoy, and we'll see you on the next one, as I say. Bada boom, bada bing.
Cool. Let me go through this comment. We'll go through a comment. He says, speaking honestly, the Magic cost us winning silverware due to his inexperience and stubbornness last 3 seasons. He should have prioritized a cup or two, knowing we weren't strong enough. You know what? You just said it there. He's inexperienced. So once you put inexperienced, anything else you have there, for me, goes by the wayside. He's inexperienced. So that's like saying a player's inexperienced, but why doesn't he make the shot when he's open? Well, it's because he's inexperienced. He doesn't know how to.
But you have experienced people around him. That's what.
He's inexperienced, and he's leading the way, and that inexperience is why, if he's stubborn, it doesn't matter if he has support around him, right?
To be fair, though, I think they did try to prioritize the League Cup to an extent, but came up against a better Newcastle team. The FA Cup, I think they got some unlucky draws, and just the
putting Erdogan on Isak doesn't sound like a really good option. We did that.
Well,
so if you're gonna look at like matchups and stuff, that's not a good matchup. And Erdogan against anybody is never gonna work. So like for me, it's inexperience setting your players up to lose, right?
But when you do it, Gary, you did it 3 years running. Earliest exit from a domestic cup.
He's inexperienced. He needs to learn, and that's I go by it. I'm going by inexperience before I go by all the other stuff.
I go by the fact that he's more stubborn than a government mule.
I think he's inexperienced, and he's learning.
I think he's stubborn.
And once again, I'll keep saying this: there's no managers had to do what you're asking him to do in the first 6 years of their career, unless they've got Messi. All right.
Messi.
Nobody's
But
doing it. So like until you tell me, like people tell me one manager here, one manager, it's not. He's doing something unheard of. The fact that he's got the backup from the leadership is good for him. It's good for him. Could have been good momentum to build on. Well, yeah, no, I get. Yeah, winning something would have helped, but I think he was looking at too many. He's trying to move. He's trying to move too many things at the same time, right? And that's
Well,
why.
a big thing about
Well,
some of these
well,
cup
sure.
runs, man, and this is my opinion on this, and of course it's not backed up by scientific data, so, and it's not peer reviewed either. So sorry, guys, but I also think you got to have good draws in some of these cup games as well too. I think if you like right now, we we got Portsmouth and Wigan in the FA Cup, which means we'll probably see a Premier League side probably the following round.
No, that's when have we played a really tough game in a cup match in the last number of years?
Oh,
That
you had
really
United
stands out.
last year. You had Liverpool the year before
United
that.
was not good last year. Do you see where they finished in the season?
That's true. but
We
they still
lost to
found a way
West
to
Ham.
beat you.
West Ham was never good when we lost to them, right? Liverpool actually
the
put
West
in
Ham
put in
team-
their academy players, and when we still struggled, right? For me, I always go back. It's the inexperience of our manager not bigging these guys up in games that he should. His team is the more dominant team. He plays them like they're like he plays some of our opponents like they're the top players, like we're playing the top players, when in reality they're struggling. You know, he's looking at, like I said, he keeps looking at the badge and not looking at the team's form coming into the game.
Well, let's think about this. It's better off to play a bottom tier championship club that's in like 17th, 18th in their league.
Yeah.
And then now
we
you're
lost
getting
to Nottingham
League
Forest
One.
when they were in. We lost to Nottingham
Yeah.
Forest when they
And that
were
was
in the championship.
unacceptable. That was unacceptable
Right.
at the time.
Like I said, he plays up for in the wrong occasions. He doesn't give his team as much respect as he puts on the opponents coming to
Well,
play
they also
us.
didn't respect him either in that game, that Nottingham Forest game. That's also another thing for another time. But my point being is to get through, like, again, Champions League, the way Arsenal win it is not by playing the buzzsaw through. You're not going to win the Champions League if you probably draw Real Madrid, Manchester City, Liverpool, and then the final. But you get a little lucky break of getting Olympiacos in one round or whoever. Like then because then you have to manage the league and everything. So my point being is,
like I said, it's
your FA Cup run will come down to also who you draw.
Yeah, I just
we
think
can agree to disagree. I don't think you're wrong.
No, I just think it's the experience and that more than
that plays into it
playing.
as well.
But no, I think that for me that's the key thing because he needs to learn, and he's learning the hard way. That's what sucks.
He learned through failure.
How many goals did Ronaldinho score for Barca? Nowhere near Messi or Ronaldo, but his exploits are legendary. True. But those are three top players there, so I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what that means. What is that? What am I missing here?
His moment is that he says that back in the day, moments became more remembered than actual goals.
Ronaldinho is looked at as a really good footballer, not just a moments player. It's my understanding of that thing. Like he wasn't just a moments player. Yeah. I think he would be considered up in that level, just below the Messi Ronaldos, right? But it's not like because he just had a few moments. It was the body of work.
The great teams have supporting casts.
Yeah,
that's just
nobody gets there alone, right? Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, look, and here's the facts. And I wanted to say this about Nwuri and his loan. You know, if it's not De Zerbi as the manager, do you think they really want him at Marseille? They probably don't. They're probably mad about this loan now because they had a competent manager that had been in the Premier League that could train him up, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I don't even know who the manager is Marseille. I don't watch the French league, but
they haven't mentioned anything about it.
But the point is, you're only as good as your supporting cast. You can be talented, but in a game that's 11v11, man, you're gonna have to have people that step up too.
True. All right. Look at Wilfred, Canu, Perez, and Lundberg. They weren't record scorers, but produced magic moments. Yeah, I think I missed. Yeah, but they're not at the levels of a Ronaldinho. I'm saying his name. I'm destroying his name. But they're not as good as him at all in the body of work. Yeah, Rosie says, "Nice stream." All right, thanks for joining us. We are going to get out of here. 8 a.m.
But
my way. Oh, it's just you just had your coffee. What is it, Tony?
Portuguese Portuguese is a very hard language.
I don't know what that means. What? Oh, you saying his name? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, I mean, I just think he's a good footballer. If Pep had the old Arsenal team like
It's
Arteta,
like
would have
people
done what
call it
Arteta did.
Rio de Janeiro. It's not Rio de.
Yeah.
Ours are pronounced like H's.
Yeah.
I think if Pep had the old Arsenal team like Arteta did, I think he probably wins the 22-23 season. But I still think what we saw the last 2 years happens.
Because we just didn't have the depth, which was the problem. We need to be on a perfect run.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Pep would have, but I think
Mm.
Pep would have taken risks that Arteta won't take. And the reason
Pep
why
would have
is
probably won a couple of them cups too.
because Arteta is trying. He's so risk averse, and keep saying it, that he just he's worried. He's so concerned that he might win a game because he might lose a game. You know what I mean? As opposed to like, you know what, you've got the quality. You put them out there. They might win today. They might lose tomorrow. You know, but you never. You know, but if more times than not, you're gonna get the win.
But when has Pep managed a team that wasn't the top tier team? I guess he did what Barcelona beat.
No, but the way his teams play, they are not playing.
He would never take
he would improve the quality of the players he's got, right? Like, and you can tell that based on when he plays in the cups and he rests players, the backup players go out there and they perform, right? That's when you're like, you don't look at the best players, you look at the players that come behind them, and they also provide support, right? Ake, Stones aren't names that are like tops in the world, but they come out and they perform and they have a role and they do really well for City, and that's because I think of the way the City Pep has them set up. All right,
I still think he struggles because I don't think that some of those Arsenal teams are really that good.
No, but
I think he would have gotten the best out of what he could out of it.
He would improve.
We'll never know.
He would improve the players. He would improve the players, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I think he would. I think a better manager who's seen football, who knows when to take risks, who knows when to make better substitutions, and how to set up better schemes, would have done better with our teams for sure. And I think Pep is that guy, regardless of the quality of the players that he has to deal with.
I wonder what Tom would say on this one, because Tom would disagree about.
Because if it was Bielsa, and you can say this to Mr. Tom, if Bielsa had the Arsenal team, would they play better? Yes, he would say they would play better because Bielsa is a better manager. Right, he knows more football than Arteta has ever dreamed of. Right, so that's, I believe, coaching. You know this in every sport. The better the manager, the better the head coach, the better the team performs. Doesn't matter the quality of the players; they get more out of them, and that's true in every sport.
Well, God, let's have this conversation.
Especially the NBA.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll save it, because I want to know what's going to happen with Spurs and their manager. Because my position on Spurs is that they should stay the course with Thomas Frank, and here's why: they had Poch, he left. They've had Mourinho, Conte. Who else?
They had Nuno, and they should have stayed with Nuno. And the reason why they should have stayed with Nuno
keep firing managers
is because they should have rebuilt the team with Nuno. They should have sold. They should have sold
Kane,
both Kane and
Dyer.
No, the other attacker, Son. They should have sold both of them for whatever monies they could, and then rebuilt the team. They ended up selling. I think they should have sold him to City, not because I wanted him to go to City, but I think they should have sold him to City to get the money that they needed earlier than when they got him out of Bayern, right? So they can restart. They can start rebuilding the team, right?
Think about an alternate universe. You would have probably Holland already around Madrid.
Exactly. So, but I mean, I just think they should have realized Kane isn't going to stay, and probably said, and Kane probably said, I'm staying an extra year. Eventually, that's like the whole Xhaka, Xhaka thing. They eventually had to let him go because he said, "I want to go now," and they said, "No, we'll go later." So let's get out of here, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We'll do this again in a week. Arsenal will by then will have played 2 matches. Hopefully, if they win both of them, very good for us. And we'll go from there. Yeah.
Let's win, baby.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll
win.
be
Yeah.
able to watch wrestling on a Monday live. So
Yeah,
I don't have
enjoy
to
that.
rewatch it.
There you go. And we're out of here.
Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. There you go.